Guys, I've fallen in love with my brand new trout rod. We're going to do a review on the St. Croix Mojo Inshore. This one is a 7-foot 6-inch rod, medium light, awesome for sea trout. Let's get into the review. Hey guys, I'm Kevin with Kemp Outside, your inside source for all things outside. Today I'm super excited to do this review. I'm doing a review on my St. Croix Mojo Inshore saltwater spinning rod. This is a medium light, fast action rod. This thing is awesome, guys. I have been catching sea trout with this a bunch, and I'm loving it. So I've used this rod, probably 5 or 6 times now. And so I've already got it hooked up to the reel and everything, ready to go. I'm going to do a review on this Daiwa Legalis reel, by the way, too. Awesome reel. But this is a high dollar rod compared to most of the rods I review on this channel, right? So, and I know you can get way more expensive than the Mojo Inshore, especially with St. Croix rods. But I won this rod at the end of year Christmas party at my fishing club, the O'Brien's Fishing Club in Brandon, Florida. So if you're looking to join a fishing club and you're local to the area, definitely come join us. It's a great fishing club. I love hanging out there, and I won this rod in a raffle, so super excited about it. I did swap out the reel. The reel that they had on it was a 4,000 size Vanford, which was way too big for a medium light rod. So switch it out to this Daiwa, which we'll get into later. But I wanted to do a review on the rod today because this thing is amazing. And I have my little iPad here off screen to make sure I get all of the componentry right and everything, because I really want to do this review justice. So just right off the bat, guys, this is a $200 fishing rod. So anytime you spend over $100 on a fishing gear component, I say it better perform. And this rod has been performing really, really well for me. I've caught lots and lots of sea trout. As a matter of fact, let's see this rod in action right now. Here's a good example of a sea trout on the flats. Hit a soft plastic. This one wasn't a keeper, so it wasn't very big, but this rod handles sea trout like a dream. We'll get this off the hook and get another cast going. This is a different flat on a different day, but same results. Good cast, good distance. Even with little flicks, guys, you can cast this thing a mile. There's the hookup. Retrieve. Another little sea trout. I love fishing with this rod because I can cast it all day. It's super light, super comfortable, and just produces fish. This rod does equally well when you're fishing jig heads, Texas rigs, weighted hooks, weedless jig heads, whatever you want to fish artificials. This rod does great. This was a fantastic hookup I had on a Spanish mackerel on the flat. It cut the leader because I had short leader on, but as you can see, the rod did really well under weight. And check out this blow up right at the boat. I'm reeling in the bait, and the Spanish mackerel just smacks it. And I lose this fish as well because it didn't get hooked. But as you can see, the rod will really take some good strain. You can see the fish pull and drag, and of course I lost it. But again, fantastic rod for the flats. I absolutely love it. So as you can see, guys, this rod has done great, and that was just a little bit of the fishing I've been doing with it. So love it, love it, love it, especially for your sea trout, your spotted sea trout. Some people call it speckled sea trout. Whatever you call sea trout, this is a fantastic rod for that. So let's talk about this rod specifically, and then we'll talk about the other rods in the Mojo Inshore lineup. So first of all, fantastic cork handles. I love cork. I'm a sucker for cork handles. The reel seat is a Fuji DPS Deluxe reel seat with gunmetal hoods. So that's just the color of these sections right here. So not super shiny. I don't care about the color. It's not ergonomic, but it is pretty comfortable in the hand. I have fished with this, and this is a really lightweight rod too, guys. So great for casting, you know, especially, you know, when you're flats fishing like me with artificials. Like I have this little double-tailed shrimp imitator on here right now. You know, especially when you're casting 500 to 700 times a day, casting these artificials, you want a lightweight rod. It's just so much easier on your body for casting. So this is fantastic for that. Super sensitive rod. Love this blank. Let's get into the guide. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guides and a tip for 9 total guides on this 7'6". And it says the guides are Sea Guide Hero high grade guides with aluminum, with slim aluminum oxide rings and SS316 stainless gun smoke frames. So really high quality guides. They have, you know, this shape where they're kind of canted forward. This is a very big, you know, first guide, definitely designed for ease of line flowing through the guides for maximizing your casting distance. Really, really high quality. Really, really like the guides on this rod. The blank itself, it says it's premium quality SC3 carbon. I don't know what that means, right? Like I've said in other videos, it used to be that every rod manufacturer gave you a modulus score, you know, or you know, like a 24 ton or 30 ton or whatever. Now, you know, each rod manufacturer has its own proprietary name for what it has. I guess then that's just to compare it with other rods in the same brand, I guess, right? But it's very hard to compare across. All I can say, guys, is that it's super light, super strong. Haven't had any problems with it. Very sensitive. Everything I would expect in a $200 rod. Let's talk about a few other things. It does say it has a contoured handle with EVA cork combinations. So it does have a little EVA on the butt, which is, you know, fine. Most of it is cork, and I really like that. It does have a Keegan hook keeper. I'm a huge fan of hook keepers. Never hang your hooks in the guides, right? Especially with these guide inserts that can get chipped by hooks and then fray your line. Always use the hook keep. And it says it has 2 coats of Flex Coat Slow Cure finish. So the rod does have this nice seafoam green look to it. You know, just a, you know, good looking rod. And then it has a 5-year warranty backed by St. Croix Superstar Service, according to their website. So all that to say, if you buy the thing, make sure you keep the receipt in case something happens to it. I've heard that St. Croix does have good warranty, but I've never had to experience it. This is my first St. Croix rod. Also, guys, just to let you know, sometimes people like to know where it's built. On the website, it says that it's designed in Park Falls, wherever that is. I don't know. I'm guessing St. Croix is out of the Midwest, probably Minnesota or Wisconsin. And then handcrafted in Fresnillo, Mexico. So it's built in Mexico, so at least it's built in North America. It's not coming from China. So all in all, guys, this is a fantastic rod. And like I said, I've had plenty of success fishing with this. Really, really happy with it. Let's talk about the other rods in the lineup for the Mojo Inshore, because there are a lot of them, guys. And it looks like they have 19 different rods in this series. Everything from as short as 6 feet to 7'11", and everything from light power to heavy, everything from moderate fast, or actually I should say moderate to fast action. I don't see any extra fast action in here. And then line ratings from 6 to 12 all the way up to, wow, they have one that's an extra heavy. My bad, I didn't see that. They have one that's extra heavy that'll take, you know, 40 to 80 pound line capacity. But some of them are, you know, 17 to 40, 14 to 30, 12 to 25, 10 to 20. The line rating capacity on this rod is 8 to 14 pounds with a lure rating of 1/8 to 1/2 ounce. So guys, those are guidelines, right? But they're pretty good guidelines. And if you're ever wondering, you know, well, why not spool heavier line on, or why not cast a heavier bait? And it's a good question to ask. So let me try and answer it for you. Number one is these rods are rated for those lines, meaning that under normal use, right? Not where you're high sticking the rod and putting a super big bend in it or something like that, but under normal use, if you use the line for the rod, it shouldn't break the rod under heavy load. If you use, like, let's say you spool this rod up with 65-pound braid and you fight a big fish and you put a big bend in the rod, chances are the rod will break before the line does, and then, you know, you've got a problem because you've got a broken rod. Same thing with the lure rating, right? So up to a 1/2 ounce lure, when you're trying to cast really far, so you like rear back and you fling that rod as hard as you can, and you're sending that bait, through the air, it's putting a lot of load, especially on the tip of the rod, right? And so if you have a heavier weight than the rod is rated for under that heavy load, you can snap the tip of the rod in the middle of the cast, right? So it's very important that you stick to the guidelines printed on the rod or printed on St. Croix's website or any rod's guidance, because you don't want to just snap your rod when you're fishing. That's not a good thing, especially when they cost $200. Let's talk about the price range of these things. So I'm seeing everywhere between like $180, all the way up to $245, I think, is the most expensive one. So these are not inexpensive rods. So I always say, stick within your budget, right? You can catch fish. You can catch a lot of fish. As a matter of fact, I have rods on my boat that are a quarter of this price and less, that are bringing in lots and lots of sea trout when we go fishing, right? So if you don't have a budget for this, that's fine, right? You can still catch fish and you can do really well on rods that are a lot less expensive than this. But if you want a high quality rod that's really good and sensitive, that has fantastic casting distance, that's well made, that's not made in China, that is supported by an American company, that is a high quality rod, something like this St. Croix Mojo Inshore is a pretty fantastic rod. I have nothing but good things to say about all the St. Croix rods I have ever fished with. I fished with a few, including their Avid series rods, but as I said, this is the only one I own. And I can say that after owning this one, I certainly want a few more of these, and I wouldn't mind a few more of the Mojo Inshores. They are pretty nice rods. Guys, I'm going to put an affiliate link below to where you can pick up one of these. If you use my link to purchase, it doesn't cost you anything extra, but it's a great way to support my channel as I get a little commission on the sale. As I said before, I really like this, but it is one of the higher dollar rods I will review on this channel. We try to review things in all different price points because we know there's all different types of anglers out there, and there might be anglers out there who want to get some less expensive stuff for their family but want to fish with something really nice for themselves. Guys, this is a really nice rod, and for anybody out there who's looking to purchase a rod as a gift for a loved one, a birthday present or a Christmas gift or something like that, this is a sweet gift to give. And guys, if you ever want to get me one, just send it my way. I'll give you a shout out on Camp Outside. Just kidding, but these are awesome rods, so I highly recommend them. I don't even really have a bad thing to say about them. The only thing that I will say, just in terms of just getting the rod to and from the water, is this guide does not fit in a lot of rod sleeves. So if you use rod sleeves to transport your rods back and forth, you need to make sure you buy a big enough rod sleeve to fit this guide. What I have done is I've gone to the Salt Strong rod sleeves, and I really like those, so I'll put a link down in the description below to where you can check out the Salt Strong rod sleeve, because that fits over this guide really well and fits up to a 7'6" rod. So there are great rod sleeves, but you have to be really careful about this guide because this guide can get caught. So if you're throwing this rod in the back of a truck or in the boat to get to the water or whatever, you got to be really careful because they are two-piece guides. I'm worried about popping a guide insert out or something like that and then having to have this rod repaired, because I definitely, if I broke a guide, I would definitely have it repaired. It's a high dollar rod. So with that, I think that's all I have to say on this rod for now. It is excellent. I highly recommend it. If you have any questions about fishing the flats or fishing for sea trout or fishing with St. Croix rods or anything like that, drop some in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Or you can connect with me on my other social media. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and X. or you can connect with me at my website at kempoutside.com. Guys, I've got a review on the reel coming out real soon, so be sure to check that out as well. Hit that subscribe, ring that little bell icon that notifies you when we release new videos. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. We got a whole lot more fishing content coming here in 2025, as well as our camping, hiking, and other outdoor gear and outdoor activity related stuff. So stay tuned right here. Guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.